The text came through as I was turning into my driveway. Don't go. I was returning from a business trip. My hands tightened on the steering wheel. I didn't have time to question. I didn't have time to feel. I typed back quickly, my pulse quickening with the sudden urgency in his message. Why? What's wrong? His response was immediate. Just trust me and stay away. I didn't trust him, not anymore. Something was wrong. Something that went beyond just a business trip. His words felt too desperate, too forced. I parked my car and stepped into the quiet night, the air thick with tension. But I couldn't just sit there. I couldn't leave it alone. I drove to his house instead. His house was dark, the lights dimmed as though he knew I would come. I knocked once, twice. He didn't answer. I could hear his voice through the window, frantic but muffled. The door finally creaked open. He didn't look surprised to see me, but his eyes were a different story. "You shouldn't have come," he said, his voice low, almost apologetic. There was fear in his eyes, fear I hadn't seen before. Before I could speak, he motioned for me to come inside. The air inside his house felt suffocating, heavy. He didn't let me speak. Instead, he took out his phone. "You need to see this," he said, his hands trembling as he opened a video on his screen. I watched. It was footage of her, my wife. She was standing in the dark, her face half lit by the dim lights of the bedroom. She was speaking to someone. No, touching someone. I froze. My mind couldn't process the images fast enough. I blanked. The man. I knew him. I trusted him. It was my best friend. No. The room spun. I could feel the bile rise in my throat. I had to be wrong. I had to be wrong. I didn't say anything. I couldn't. All I could do was sit there, staring at the screen, my mind churning. My brother didn't say a word either. He just watched me, waiting for my reaction. "You didn't know, did you?" he asked, breaking the silence. The question hit me like a bullet. No, I didn't know, but I was beginning to understand. My mind worked faster than I could follow. I had to know more. I had to be sure. I didn't confront her right away. I couldn't. It wasn't the right moment. Instead, I spent the next few days in a haze, quietly gathering evidence, silently observing. I pulled out my wife's phone records, her calls, her texts. They were too consistent, too intimate. The messages from my best friend, from them both, were nothing but lies. I kept up the facade. I laughed at her jokes, nodded along as she spoke, but inside, it was all falling apart. I was watching a life I thought I knew crumble, and I couldn't stop it. I wasn't even sure I wanted to. The truth came on a quiet evening, the silence broken only by the sound of my own heartbeat. I was sitting on the couch when she came home, her face lit up in that way that made me think everything was normal. I didn't speak. I didn't need to. I handed her my phone. The video. It was there, in front of her. Her face drained of color when she saw it. How long?" I asked, my voice colder than I meant it to be. She didn't answer. But the tears, the pleading look, those were enough. I had her. She could no longer hide. She dropped the phone, her body crumpling in on itself. The truth was out, and the walls she had built came crashing down. I didn't feel the anger I expected. I didn't feel the rage. I felt nothing. She started to speak, to beg. "Please, I never meant to hurt you. It just happened. He meant nothing." Her voice wavered, but I didn't react. I didn't flinch. I knew what I needed to do. The power was in my hands now. "You really thought I wouldn't find out?" I asked, my voice low, almost disappointed. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She looked at me, searching for something, anything to hold on to. But I had already made my decision. "I've known for weeks," I said, watching her face crumble. She started to speak again, but I stopped her. "You betrayed me. Both of you." I didn't wait for her to apologize. I didn't need to hear the lies anymore. I already knew. I walked to the door, my feet slow and deliberate. She didn't follow. She didn't try. I left. There was no drama, no final confrontation, no apologies needed. What was the point of any of it? I had everything I needed. The truth was out, and now the power was in my hands. The house, the life, the family, it was all just a lie. I didn't feel the anger anymore, just clarity. I had no use for her now, and I had no intention of going back. The door closed behind me, and I walked away.